So I'd like to have a conversation with you briefly about a medicine for severely itchy dogs called Cytopoint. 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 If a bee stings you, better. If a mosquito bites you and your body doesn't like it, it puts together a series of enzymes. Let's just say, for purposes of discussion, it's 5 enzymes. And these 5 enzymes layer on each other. So the first enzyme goes to the second enzyme, to the third enzyme, etc. Well, with Cytopoint, what they've done is they've created a vaccine that makes the body attack one of the enzymes. It's a JAK2 enzyme. And it attacks that enzyme and neutralizes it. So when the body decides to create an inflammatory response to flea bites or whatever else the dog is allergic to, it goes enzyme 1, and before it can get to enzyme 3, it stops because there's no enzyme 2. So you understand the Cytopoint is a vaccine that destroys one of the important enzymes in the inflammatory process in the skin. It does not suppress the immune system in general, which is why it is not associated with cancer like that. So Cytopoint is an injection given once every 4 to 6 weeks, whereas Apoquel is given every day. So the convenience factor of Cytopoint is high. A client would just bring a dog by the clinic, and the dog would receive its shot and go home for 4 to 6 weeks of very good relief from itching without the side effects of prednisone, steroids. The drawback of Cytopoint is that, compared to steroids and Apoquel, is steroids are cheap. Apoquel is expensive, and Cytopoint is very expensive. But for people who do not want the side effects of prednisone and steroids and do not want the cancer of Apoquel, Cytopoint, even though it is very expensive, is also extremely effective, and it has the convenience of a 4 to 6 week shot. And when I say very expensive, that's a relative thing. You would need to check with the office and find out what it would cost for your dog's weight, because smaller dogs are less expensive to treat than large dogs. So it matters. If you had a 100-pound dog or a 130-pound dog, I don't even know if I could afford it, or whether even a person should at that price. But for small dogs, it's not that bad. It's just more expensive than Apoquel and a lot more expensive than prednisone and steroids. So I think, to recap, what I've told you is that Cytopoint comes from the same company that Apoquel does. And they should not be confused together, because Apoquel has been associated with the appearance of new cancer, and Cytopoint has not been associated with cancers. Apoquel is a pill that's given every day. Cytopoint is an injection that's given once every 4 to 6 weeks. Cytopoint is highly preferable because it works very well and is free of side effects of the kind of consequences that steroids do. And it functions on the basis of a vaccine that does not suppress the entire immune system. It only reduces inflammation as manifested in the skin with itching. So I would like you to consider Cytopoint. Certainly if your pet is on Apoquel, I would strenuously recommend that you switch to Cytopoint as soon as possible. Or if your pet is getting a lot of steroid and showing those side effects of hunger and thirst and weight gain and thin skin and heat-seeking behavior, that you would switch from the steroids and prednisone possibly to Cytopoint as well. So that's what I wanted to convey to you. Full disclosure on everything I know about Cytopoint within reason. mainly that the documentation is a little bit scarce, and that I am recommending it highly in spite of that. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call the office. Thank you very much.